today I went to Big Ben today.
Today I went to
Big Ben. Okay. Shh, sister. Shh. I went to Big Ben and I went to hiking, golf, and horse racing. And unfortunately, I broke my ankle. So you know, I just thought to myself, remember that Back to the Future review? Well, I'm gonna try to do a road trip review where you don't see my mask, you see the review. That's it. And today we're gonna review Zootopia. Now Zootopia is a pretty good movie. I would say I guess maybe it's like my top 5 favorite movies. Alright, so here's how it starts. So it starts with a funny thing where a million years ago it began with the bunnies, and then the lion tried to eat them, but it was all a stage play and the blah blah blah, and then it realized, but then 1,000 years later they come back, or a million years later, and a million years later they come back to life, and there's no apes. Anyways, so they want to grow up, but this Bugsy wants to be a police officer, but she can't. So this fox bullied her, but then years later she trains to be a police officer.
Here we go.
Turn it down, Mama. I'm doing my review. Anyways, and then the police, and she turned into like the police academy. Now she's a police officer, but then oh no, and then she traveled to Zootopia. That's the title of the movie. Okay, they say Zootopia like a million times and that. Yes, and then the bunny said to. Then she tried to come, and then there's this cheetah character. And then she tried to come to trying to get a mission because these lost predators have been lost for like 2 weeks in a little otter. That would be the focus on the mission. But for now, she's a ticket car, and then she tries to get 200 tickets, and then she did it. But then the fox came here, and then she has a little puppy dog, and they try to get some ice cream from the elephant, but they couldn't because they didn't have enough money. But then the police then they said, here's some money, so they did, but it was actually a trick, and it wasn't a puppy, it was just a little chihuahua. Then she tries to get the fox, but then the fox is like, no. And then her dreams don't come true, and then she's sad, and then she's even more sad when she gets the parking tickets. But then this little crazy guy comes to try to get stuff, but then it didn't work. But then the bunny tries to catch the squirrel, him, and then she tries to throw the donut, and then the bunny grabs it and caught it, and then he traps the donut with him. But then the boss is pretty mad, so he tells her, you're in trouble and you're fired. But then the mom otter says, can you please help me with it? So then the boss says, fine, the bunny can do it for only for 48 hours. So then the fox, but then they try to get some clues, but then the last time he sees it was a popsicle, so she has an idea. So that means she tells her, if you don't do this, then I'm gonna make sure your business will be over. So they try to do stuff. So they found this otter and try to but it's kind of funny because the elephant doesn't think anything, but then he does, so it's actually not kind of funny. Oh, but I love the sloth scene. Oh my goodness. It was like, how do you do? So funny. So they did. So the prank is, get it, because it's funny. So they try to go enter it, but then because he did some business with this thing with the mafia, she tried to give him a dead skunk for his mom, and then but it's like referencing Godfather, and then they try to ice them, but then we realize the twist is that the daughter is actually a father, the Godfather, so they try to give him clues to their wedding. But then that's a better twist than the other one, you know. Okay, so then anyways, they try to get to this panther. They had some clues, but he went wild. But then he went wild too, and then they tried to trap him, but then the trap got released because they didn't see it. And then the boss was there. Was like, "How you fired?" But then he said, but then the fox says, "You got, I don't know. You have 2 weeks to get him, and we just have 2 days, so we have 10 hours." So then they try to get there, and then the night howlers. That's the clue with this thing. The night howlers. And then they fought the night howlers too, but then there's a twist. But at least it's better than the real twist, you know. Oh, and then the twist. Wait, no, forget. And then the fake twist is that the night howlers are getting some things, and then the mayor was actually charged of this, and then they caught him. But then the bunny had some like interview, and then she says that predators are wild because they have their DNA, and then the fox got mad, so they have this you know, for that breakup. So then then bunny retired because she did some dumb stuff. Also, wham, Mr. Mayor, she's not the twist villain, I promise you. And then she drew the farm, and then the bully from first time, he said that he was sorry. And then the fake twist is that the night howlers are the flowers. And then she comes back with the fox, and then she did forget him. And then Dog, the sheep, tried to get him, and then he was the last one to get it. So how is he so most important? I don't know. But yeah, I think I love the action scene from the sheep. It's a great climax, in my opinion. And then boom, the train explodes, but then they have the one last thing. But then the sheep try to get it. But then, wait. Oh, this is a big twist. Spoilers, guys. Spoilers. The sheep was the villain. Oh, okay, this is the most worst villain since that was his mistake, guy. That was his mistake, guy. And then sheep tries to get them, but then they got the I'll kidnap 1,000 till this company dies cliche, and then I didn't know actually that was a cliche in my opinion. Just saying. And then she got caught, and then the fox, they finally solved the case, and the yard gets healed. That's pretty interesting. Then the fox gets hired, and you know what their first mission is? Trying to get this instance, and then it was actually a dash, 100-yard yash, and it says hi guys, and then there was this good song, and I would say it's 8 out of 10. It's pretty excited for the sequel, and that would be it. Bye.